Well, now. Well, now. Do I have audio? I hope so. Hey, what's up, people? How is you? Apologize if you could hear me drink. I should have muted. My bad. I sincerely apologize. Well, what does that say? What does that say to there? What is that? Oh, I got a screen share up there. I got a screen share up there. Downey, transparent eye. Hello. How are you? Long time no see, Downey. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you and your familia is doing very well. SOS, good to see you. Good to see you. Um, yeah, Downey, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing real good. Matthew the King, hello. Hello, how are you? Good to see you again too. Hey, I lied to y'all. I apologize. Lawless twin, how are you? Good to see you. I lied to all of you. When I got out of jail a few days ago, I told you I was gonna go live and I never went live. I'm good to hear it, Downey Transparent Eye. If it, can I talk? Can we talk? Can we talk? Can I tell you how pissed off I am? Can we talk here? I mean, is this a safe space? Is this a safe space? Can we talk here? I got to tell you, man, it's just sometimes it's a little overwhelming. I come home, I want to go live. Well, that day when I came home, I got out of jail. I was really tired. I was super tired, and I was super. I think I was emotionally exhausted too. Hey, Drifter Shelley, hello, how are you? Um, Mike, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I think I was emotionally exhausted and physically exhausted. I hadn't slept in over 24 hours. Um, yeah, thank you, Matthew the King. You can call me anytime, Matthew the King. I got a red phone. When you call me, the red phone rings. I know it's you. And the theme song from the theme song from the Lion King plays on the phone, and I know it's you, and I'll pick it up. You guys can call me anytime you want to. But you know, uh, I got for those of you that don't know, I am self-employed, and October the 31st, I had quarterly taxes I had to try and get done. So I was trying to do all those quarterly taxes. And for those of you that don't know, I'm currently involved in two lawsuits pro se. I'm suing San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department in two different lawsuits pro se. And I've been working on discovery and not only a discovery for those cases, but I've been working on our initial disclosures and trying to get all that done. So I've been just trying to catch up and get everything done before I got to turn around and go right back. Oh, I had all the insurance stuff I had to do for the insurance company because those of you don't know, somebody brake checked me. Edgar, good to see you. Crofty, hi, thank you, good to see you. So for those of you, Jeannie, so those of you don't know, somebody brake checked me, and I had to do all the insurance stuff for them. So it's been a crazy past couple of days, but I did want to check in and say hello to you all and tell you how much I appreciate you and how much I love you all. And I want to talk to you. This is my Sheep Show Live channel. I don't have memberships on this channel, but I don't do enough for my members on my main channel. I don't put enough content for my members on my main channel. So can I just tell all of my members how deeply, how absolutely incredible I think you are that you continue to support me on that main channel, even though my content is few and far and in between. And honestly, I never expected to even have one single member just because of the how often I post. Oftentimes it's 3 months. Um, hey, Aaron. Yeah, I'm very important. Didn't you know? Didn't you hear, Aaron? I'm born again. I'm a child of the Most High God. I'm extremely important. I'm so important. He gave His Son to die on a cross for me, so that He could pave my way to paradise. I thought you knew that, Aaron Queen. I thought you knew all about me. But anyways, I'm glad. I'm glad to be able to fill you in, and it's good to have you here. Thanks for being here. Say hi to Bao for me. I love Bao. I love Bao. And it's an auditor. Good to have you here. Very good to have you here. But I just want to thank all of my members on my main channel. I really appreciate all of you, more than I can say, for your continued support. It's I really wish, uh, like I said, I could do this full time. But let's get into the live stream tonight and what I want to talk about. I want to talk about that a-hole, James Freeman, that absolute jerk, that absolute doo-doo face jerk off, James Freeman, and his stupid looking beard, his stupid looking Sasquatch beard. And let me start off the live by saying, I don't really mean anything I just said. I'm not really pissed off at James Freeman. Um, it's more of a skit than anything else. But we did have a nice little conversation on his live the other day, and I really wish that I could show you his live and go over the conversation that we had, but he deleted it, so I can't really get in there and show you nothing. Mass exposure, nothing. I love James Freeman. Like I told him in his chat, I agree with probably 99, 98, 99% of everything that he says. I think that he has a lot of very good insight into uh, the um, into the current state of affairs, as it involves, American tyranny and oppression and injustice. But I made a comment on his chat that I found. I think the comment that I made in his chat was that I find the stream disturbing, and he responded to that comment, and that led to a little bit longer discussion. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I wanted to talk about that a little bit. And then I wanted to get your all opinion. And I don't expect anybody to take sides. It's just food for thought. I'd like to reflect a little bit. I'd just like to reflect a little bit on that conversation. And, some of the things that he said, I had a real hard time trying to wrap my mind around what he was trying to say. And, I did find some of the things that he was saying a little bit disturbing. But then again, I find a lot of things a lot of people in the 1A community say disturbing. And I say 1A community, and I use that term intentionally because I like the term. I think the term is a very good descriptive term. And I've listened, hey, 1, 2, 3, good to see you. I've listened to a lot of the auditors, or a lot of the influencers like Direct D talk about stop using the term First Amendment auditor. I've seen several people say stop using the term First Amendment auditor. And James Freeman in his chat kind of ridiculed First Amendment auditing. He was kind of asking, what is a First Amendment auditor? What, and kind of I kind of found the whole conversation a little bit perplexing. And I had a really tough time trying to figure out exactly, where he was coming from and trying to identify with his specific point of view. First of all, where are you coming from when you are ridiculing, First Amendment auditors and the term First Amendment auditors? Your points are not lost on me, and some of you have some valid points, but I like the term First Amendment auditors. It's a very descriptive term. We go out there, we exercise our First Amendment rights, and we audit the government's response. Isn't that what it's all about? Isn't that what First Amendment auditors do? I mean, I thought that was self-explanatory. And there's auditors come in First Amendment auditors come in all different shapes and sizes, and everybody has their own way of doing things, and everybody kind of has their own shtick. Everybody kind of has um, their own personal way of doing things. And Freeman said something that again I agree with, because, like I said, I'll say it again. I agree with most of the things that he says. Um, I agree with most of the stuff Freeman says, but Freeman, during that live stream, uh, he ridiculed First Amendment auditors, and he seems to have a very cynical take that we're not doing anything, we're not making any changes, we're never going to make any changes. Government is too far gone. We're too far into the bad, and we are we're just kind of wasting our time. At least that's how. I don't know if any of you were privy to that conversation, or privy to that little exchange that I had with him, or even if you're not privy to the exchange I had with him, just this whole conversation when he was driving back from, what is it, Arkansas, in general. And he was, what I understood him saying, and I can't play it again because the live is not there. So I'm going from memory, and forgive me if I get everything wrong. But what I understood him saying was that we're too far gone, and we're wasting our time doing anything in the First Amendment auditing community. And his goal is to just troll government. That's all he wants to do. And again, I was a little bit, perplexed by that. Freeman has paid a very high price for his content. I mean, Freeman, I believe it was in Arizona. Correct me if I'm wrong. For those of you that know, I'm sure Matthew the King knows. Freeman has had his face ground into gravel by a tyrant cop for doing nothing more than exercising his First Amendment right. And that was a very high price that he had to pay, to have your face, to be thrown on the ground and have your face ground into gravel. An American citizen thrown on the ground, his face ground into gravel for recording police. And now I'm listening to him say that, all he wants to do, it could be. Now I'm listening to him to say that all he want that we're what we're all doing is just a waste of time. We're just spinning our wheels. We're never going to achieve anything. We're never going to accomplish anything. And I completely disagree. We are going to achieve things. Change is slow. We are making changes. The evidence is out there that we are making changes. We're reaching more and more people. I've made this argument before. Freeman's got over 500,000 subs. I mean, that's saying something about the 1A community. We're growing. We are growing. We're not disappearing. We're growing. Yes, forever, but we are getting locked up. We are getting put away. I think DMA had to deal with some federal charges. Denver Metro Audits. He had to deal with some federal charges just today. You can see those on the Denver Metro Audits channel, and we are being persecuted for simply speaking out against tyranny and oppression. Um, yeah, you remember that Mike Webb? He got his head beat in. He got his by that cop. Yeah, and they smashed his face into the gravel. And to hear him say that, that all he wants to do is troll government, that doesn't make any sense to me. If you don't, why would any he also said that he likes First Amendment auditing. um we didn't say First Amendment auditing. He also says that he likes doing the bringing us the content that he's bringing us, but he likes doing other stuff more. And it just, the whole conversation that I was having with him, I was just trying to wrap my head around where he was coming from, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I thought to myself, you know, you're paying a high price, such a high price. You just left your family. You drove all the way to Arkansas for what? So you could troll government? Seriously? And then I posted in his chat, so then when the trolls say that you're just doing it for the money, then you're proving the trolls right. You're just about your hey, Showcase, I have your video queued up here. I'm going to show it. Good to see you in here. We he's saying that I got to stop reading the chat because I get too distracted. Squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. You know, he's saying that he wants to troll government. You're driving all the way to Arkansas just so that you control government, and you don't think that anything that you do is going to actually affect any kind of change? Why would anybody do that? I would never be doing this if I did not believe that we are slowly, slowly, slowly making change. And the proof is out there. The proof is out there. I mean, we have proof that cops are getting fired, that DAs are being held accountable, that chiefs of police and sheriff department are 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 being held accountable. What Pepperoni Audits got a cop fired. There's just so many examples out there. And now that I see Showcase Audits here, I want to have a look and just give you one example here real quick. Speaking of Showcase Audits,
they call themselves First Amendment auditors, and sometimes these encounters are confrontational.
You gotta leave.
This is public property. I'm not leaving.
You gotta leave.
Get your hands off me, man.
No, let's
Get
go.
your cameras on. You're gonna regret this.
Good.
Is this America? Or is this Wyoming County? What is going on here? You guys are violating my rights.
There's no rights being violated.
There's no rights being violated? Get your hands off me. What is wrong with you guys?
You're in my space.
I'm in your space? I'm in his public space, guys. Look at this.
The sheriff of Wyoming County is turning in his badge. Rudolph and 3 of his deputies appeared in a news story last night at 6.
I will never go down on the wrong side of history. I will report the truth. Are we gonna file a lawsuit? The answer is no. We're gonna file 11.
Auditing Erie County has made quite a name for himself. I've featured him on this channel before, and for me, he's one of the top auditors working today. As of this writing, he's investigated 50 out of New York's 60-plus counties, promoting transparency with professionalism while firmly standing up for his rights. A prolific activist known for his comprehensive and unfiltered coverage, AEC, who we're just going to call Dan, is relentless in his pursuit of accountability. He doesn't hesitate to file lawsuits against agencies who violate his rights or refuse to comply with the law. He's also faced retaliation from Blue Line gang members and other officials of the corrupt departments he's exposed. Despite the risks to his safety and freedom, he refuses to back down. On June 24, 2022, Dan audited the Wyoming County Government Building in Warsaw, New York. What should have been a routine town hall tour and visit to the county clerk's office quickly turned into one of the most notorious audits in recent memory, an absurd display of ignorance, oppression, and misconduct, almost too painful to watch. Stay tuned at the end of this video for a special update on this story. Dan heads in.
So I'm not going to play the whole video for Showcase Audits here, but I just wanted to give you kind of an example here. Let me go here to the end here. I put the link to Showcase Audits in the stream. Yeah, if you got a chance, Ryan, if you can send me the link at sheepshowmedia@gmail.com, unless you can think of an easier way to get me the link. That'd be great.
Even more traction after being featured on some prominent auditing channels. And soon enough, even the mainstream media was getting in on the action.
A confrontation with sheriff's deputies kicked off a frenzy on social media.
News 4 Investigates sits down with Daniel Warmis, a self-described journalist and YouTube content creator.
Daniel Warmis, the local...
Point of fact, same thing goes for you, Mrs. Fake Newscaster. You're a self-described news anchor. Just saying.
First Amendment auditor that News 4 Investigates profiled in May is back at it again, this time at the Wyoming County Government Building in Warsaw.
That is probably the worst I've seen in New York.
Warmis's recorded encounter with Wyoming County Sheriff's deputies is getting traction. About 84,000 views as of Monday on his YouTube channel. Those who follow Warmis on social media are lashing out at the sheriff's office for the way he was handled by deputies. Some of the comments are what could be described as spirited.
A lot of people don't know their rights, and that's part of why we do what we do. Constitutionally protected activity, what I was doing in there, and got shoved out of a building because I didn't waive my Fourth Amendment right of not IDing.
Even the top guy, Sheriff Greg Rudolph, makes an appearance at one point and gets an earful from Warmus.
What is going on here? You guys are violating my rights.
There's no rights being violated.
There's no rights being violated?
Wyoming County Sheriff Greg Rudolph declined an on-camera interview and would not respond to specific questions about the way Warmus was handled. But he does tell News 4 Investigates that the sign-in sheet has since been removed. Luke Moretti, News 4.
This next part is guaranteed to put a smile on your face. That news report aired on July 12th. The very next day, the sheriff would resign in disgrace.
The sheriff of Wyoming County is turning in his badge at the end of the month. Sheriff Greg Rudolph announced his retirement plans in an email to the Board of Supervisors on Monday. Rudolph and 3 of his deputies appeared in a News 4 Investigate story last night at 6. That report centered around a First Amendment auditor who visits government offices and records those interactions for his YouTube channel. Dan Warmus, the so-called auditor, claims his rights were violated by the sheriff's office during a visit to the Wyoming County government complex. Rudolph, who has been leading the office since 2013, declined to be interviewed on camera and refused to answer specific questions about the encounter with Warmus.
Dan soon conducted a follow-up revisit to the county building to see how well they've been handling the publicity. He verified that the unconstitutional sign-in sheet had indeed been removed, along with these equally unlawful no-camera signs inside the records room, which I didn't mention before just due to time. There are also proper restricted access signs where there were none before, so change has definitely been effected here. Also noticeably changed are the attitudes of staff. Everyone's on their best behavior when they see Dan this time. I wonder why. Well, everyone except for Grandma Death, who I would say bleeds blue if there were actually any blood running through those icy veins.
Would you like to say anything to the Erie County fam? No apologies or nothing? No? No remorse, no nothing, no apology, nothing.
Retire.
Have you ever seen the movie Up? Pretty good. No apology, no nothing. I would have smoothed it over just a little bit.
Seriously.
Last chance. Today, Erie County fam, everybody wants to know, are we going to file a lawsuit? The answer is no. We're going to file 11. Now I got to go get some papers notarized.
Dan returned to the county building one last time to...
All right, so I wanted to showcase Audits version of that video because it highlights the changes, just one example of the changes that one First Amendment auditor made. And there are literally dozens, if not hundreds, of examples of changes that this First Amendment auditing community is making. And for every First Amendment auditor that they happen to get to that quits because of the pressure or because of the pain that's applied to them, for every First Amendment auditor that retires, there's 2 more that are walking right up behind them and replacing them. So this First Amendment auditing movement, I don't really see it going away anytime soon. And like I said, Freeman's at 500,000 subs. 8 trillion. Lackluster's over 1 million. What's he, 1.2 million now? Going to be coming up on 1.5 million, probably. Maybe he may even hit 2 million within the next year. These are numbers that we have never seen before, and the content that we are putting out in this movement is police misconduct. Yes, government, but primarily police misconduct. There are people that are seeing it for the first time with their own eyes, who their entire life have thought that all cops are basically good and there's just a small percentage of bad ones, maybe 10, 9, 8, 7, 5% of cops. There's just a few bad apples. People are seeing with their own lying eyes that it's not just a few bad apples. It's systemic. It is happening all over the country, all over the entire country, and it's systemic. So I'm trying to figure out where Freeman's coming from with this, that we're not making a difference. We're not doing anything. We're never going to change anything. We are making a difference. We are making change, and the future looks bright. It only looks like we're going to make more change. As these channels continue to grow, as more ex-bootlickers see with their own eyes the kind of atrocities, the kind of barbaric behavior that's being perpetrated on regular American citizens. And I'm not just talking about the 1A community that's going out there with cameras. I'm talking about across the board, across the spectrum in social media, where you have innocent moms, never been in trouble in their entire life. Your mom, my mom, gets pulled over by a corrupt cop who's trying to get awards from mothers with drunk drivers, and they're having them breathalyzer, and they're coming up zeros, and the cop arrests them anyways and says, well, you if you're blowing zeros, then you must be under the influence of some uh, other kind of controlled substance. And then they arrest them, and then their toxicology reports comes back, and the toxicology report comes back negative for all drugs. And then the sheriff's department or the law enforcement agency says, well, our law enforcement is trained to recognize people that are under the influence of controlled substances. So if their toxicology report came back negative, that only means that there's a problem or an issue with the accuracy of the toxicology report. That's insanity. And people are seeing this. Yeah, see, we're getting examples in the chat, and there's just example after example after example. So I was having a really tough time, trying to figure out, where Freeman was coming from. And this was one ride home from Arkansas that I really just had a real hard time wrapping my mind around. I just couldn't really figure out where he was coming from. This is him out there risking arrest. He's trolling the cops. He's trolling the sheriff of the county. He's risking arrest. He's risking arrest in Arkansas, and for what? To troll the government? So I just really don't know where he's coming from. I don't know if he was saying that, he did make the point that, that he does want to grow his channel, and he does want the clicks and views. And I agree with that sentiment 100%. And I've said the exact same thing before. And like I said, I want to stress this point that I agree with him on most of the stuff that he says. And I agree with him that, yeah, we're not out there, putting ourselves in harm's way so that nobody could watch our channels. Of course we want our channels watched. Of course we want subs. Of course we want clicks. And of course we want views. And of course we hope that we can recoup some of the money that it costs us to go out there and do this kind of work, whether it's just fuel, whether it's bail, whether it's lawsuits, whether it's lost work, whether it's whatever kind of costs that are associated with this time of work. Of course we would like to recoup some of that money. I certainly haven't. I have recouped some of it, but I'm talking about a very small percentage. I'm probably close to $30,000 in debt ever since I picked up a camera. I've gone over 30 years without any contact with law enforcement, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, 3 years ago, I picked up a camera and I started reporting on government corruption, and presto, magically, now I've been convicted of a misdemeanor, and I've been to jail, 4 times now, and that's nothing compared to some of these other auditors. A lot of these auditors have been to jail, what is it? Eric Brandt, how many times has he been arrested? And now he's sitting in federal prison because why? Because he's reporting on government corruption. Say what you will about the things that he said about the judge. I say First Amendment protected. I say it's First Amendment protected. Was it hyperbolic? Absolutely. Was it a nasty thing to say? Absolutely. But Is it protected by the First Amendment? I think it was. I think it was. He was making a political point. It was political speech. He was trying to make a political point. So that was my conversation with Freeman as he was coming home. And I told him that he went into talking about how he doesn't block anybody from his channel. Now I do block people on my channel because, as I've said many times before, this is a space for like-minded individuals who support the First Amendment movement. And I don't mind anybody coming in here and offering an opinion that doesn't agree with mine, but I do expect you to don't be a fool. Don't be a clown. Don't come in here calling people names. Don't come in here trying to troll. Don't come in here with your endless, don't act like a petulant teenager or a child in here, and I won't block you. If you want to come in here and you want to say, hey, Sheep Show, I disagree with you. I agree with everything Freeman said. I disagree with you. I think Freeman was more on point. I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. But if you want to come in here and start acting like a little child, I'm distracted too easy. I don't have time to go through all of the comments and deal with somebody who wants to be a troll or an immature child. I want to read the comments for people who are like-minded, or even people that have questions. Hey, why did you do this audit? Why did you do that audit? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? So I do block people, and my mods do block people. Matter of fact, I probably block far more people than my mods do. So moving on real quick here. Let me just check my notes here real quick. Let's get off the screen there. So yeah, just closing it out on James Freeman. That was a very interesting conversation, and I really don't understand where he's coming from. You're paying a real high price just to troll government, and I'm kind of walking away with the feeling that you were trying to say that you just do it for the cash. I'm sorry. Apologize. If that's not true, I apologize. But that's the feeling that I kind of walked away with, that he's just trying to make it as fun as he possibly can because his heart's not in it. And at this point, he's just doing it for the cash. There's no conviction. I said that in his chat. I said, so there's no conviction. It's just about the money. And, that's what I walked away with that conversation with Freeman, that he doesn't think we're going to make any progress, that America's too far gone, that we're just spinning our wheels. We're wasting our time. We're all a big joke. The 1A community's a big joke. The First Amendment auditing community is a big joke, and he's just doing it for the cash. I'm sorry. That's what I walked away. That's what I walked away with, and I lost a little bit of respect for Freeman. I still like his work. I like his trolls. I think him trolling government is funny, but I just think that I'd never do. I don't care if I had 500,000 subs. There's not enough money in the world. There's not enough money in the world that would make this worth it for me to go out there and allow somebody to lock me in a cage like a dog, to put their hands on me, to throw me in the back of a police car, to treat me like to treat me like an absolute. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. To treat me like an absolute dog, going to the dog. There's not enough money in the world that would have me do that. I don't care if I had 500,000 subs. If the moment I'm no longer doing this for my kids, my grandchildren, and your kids and your grandchildren, I'm done. I'm packing it up. This is for our posterity. I'm trying to do my small part before I'm taken up to that spirit in the sky. I want to know that I tried, that I did something to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. I don't care how cliche that sounds. I don't care how ridiculous that sounds to some people, but that's where my heart is. Those are my intentions. Those are my goals. Um, because if not us, who? If not us, who? And we need to keep making inroads. We need to keep recording. We need to keep fighting. We need to keep suing. We need to keep suing. Pro se if you can. If you can raise the money, raise the money. These guys in that I'm battling with in the SP community, in the SP cult, the Scientology protesting cult, they raised tens of thousands of dollars, and their supporters pay for all of their legal fees. Their supporters pay for all of their legal expenses. So, I don't look at it the way Freeman does, where Freeman says, listen, if you go to court, ha, 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 you didn't win. It cost you $40,000 to get a lawyer to go to court. Even if you won, ha, 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 you didn't win. Ha, 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 you didn't win. Listen, you made $40,000 on your channel. People are donating to you all the time, Freeman. They're donating to you all the time. I don't look at it as $40,000 out of your pocket. I look at it as like-minded Americans who want to support, defend, and preserve the Constitution, who are watching your channel and clicking like and subscribing and sharing your videos and donating to your channel. I look at it as them putting their blood, sweat, and tears behind you, who are out there doing the work. But now I'm completely disillusioned with you, because now I heard you say that you're just doing it for the money. You're just trying to make a buck. Your heart's not in it. You don't think we're going to do anything. You don't think we're going to change anything. You don't really enjoy it. You just go out there. You're trying to make it as painless as possible. So you're trying to make it as fun as possible. So you go out and you troll government. I don't see it. And I lost a little bit of respect for you. Not that you care, and not that I expect you to care, but I'm just saying. All I'm doing is saying. Ryan, let me see if Ryan real quick has sent me that video. He might have sent me that video that I was talking to you, and we'll get off Freeman here. We'll get off Freeman here. Yeah. Oh, okay, I got it. This is here's the video. Let me see. Let me see the timestamp. Let me see the timestamp he gave me here. I got the timestamp. One second here, people. Oh, he put the timestamp in the chat. My bad. 126:29. Thank you, Ryan. Let me fix that. See if I can fix that for you. Audio rip. Um, says I got audio stream going. Are you sure there's no audio on the video? Rip the audio, man. We got audio now? Hi, Gloria. Gloria, do you have audio on this video that's playing? All right, hang on. Let me see if I can fix it. It says also share tab audio. That's turned on. So I don't understand. I don't know how to fix it if it's not.
Room.
How about now?
Maybe I'd have that discussion with Barry Cooper, but I don't really feel the need to. I don't really want to talk about.
You guys don't have the audio, then it's just rip on the audio because it says that I have the audio turned on. I don't know how to fix it. Audio?
Nobody specifically by name. Are you still in the hospital? No, I forgot to. Have you been drinking? Someone sends me $500 every month, says Mary B. Good. I'm glad. I would love to live in a peaceful society. It's not a reality. The audit just texted me and said case dismissed. I think he's audit just texted me by laughing at my video where I said case dismissed. All right, let me read your. So this is why I like people. So Sheep Show.
Thank you, Gloria.
You realize that auditors, these people who take themselves very seriously about fighting for your rights and blah blah blah. You realize that most of them would have blocked you already simply for disagreeing with them. You do realize that, right, Sheep Show?
Yeah, I realize that.
Almost every single one of them. The moment you disagree with them about anything, hit you with that ban hammer. And since the very first time I went out doing this,
you know, he spends a lot of time on this point that he doesn't block anybody, and I recognize that he doesn't block anybody, and I've known that about him for the longest time, and I don't know, I don't really understand why he's kind of on this point about blocking people, not blocking people on his chat. I know that he doesn't do it, and I think that it's every content creator's choice on who they want to block and who they don't want to block and how they want to run their channel. And I've never criticized any content creator for either blocking people or not blocking people. And I know that every content creator has their own personal reasons for not blocking people. Some content creators don't block people because it brings in more revenue for the channel. I've never cared really. I've never put revenue coming into my channel. I've never given that more importance over trying to weed out the trolls and the fools from my channel. I would rather my channel be free of trolls and fools. Now, if I'm beefing with somebody, like I'm beefing with the Kunta Kinte, Crackhead Kenny, or DOA, I'm not blocking those people because I'm talking shit about those people because they're talking shit about me, and I think that they should have an absolute right to come into my channel and respond. So I'm not going to be a chicken shit and block those people. Although sometimes my mods don't know that, you know, we have kind of an ongoing disagreement or a beef going on, and sometimes my mods will block them, and then I'll have to go back in there and find them and unblock them. But he spends quite a lot of time about talking about how he doesn't block people, and I know that about Freeman. He doesn't block people. He keeps his channel open, and I'm not really sure why he spends so much time on that point.
I was out with Johnny 5-0 and I was live streaming and I didn't know anything about YouTube, and Johnny was going, "Hey man, you got a lot of trolls in your chat. You need to get some moderators." And I started looking at the chats and seeing some people disagreeing with me, seeing some people had some criticisms for me. And I said, "What's a troll?" I didn't even know what a troll was. I'm 40 years old, so at the time I was like 30 something. I was young, or I was I don't know, I didn't know how this stuff worked. He says, well, trolls are people who come in just to talk trash. And I'm looking at the chats and I'm going, so you mean people who disagree with me? And
so there's a difference between people who disagree with you and people that are coming in here. A troll is not somebody who has a differing opinion from you. A troll is somebody who is coming into the channel to try and cause havoc, to try and sabotage your channel, to try and basically sabotage what your goals are, sabotage what you're trying to accomplish. You know, people that disagree with me are welcome in my chat. Trolls are not. There's a difference between the two.
I got a bunch of moderators, but I did it because I realized that there's some other things that YouTube automatically withholds comments. And so I had to have moderators in order to release those comments in the chats, because only the moderators could see them. And I realized I needed moderators to post links. And so I ended up getting like probably 5 or delete spam, like when you just repeat doing anything. Delete or ban someone, no matter what horrible things they say about me, my family, or because what I realize is most of the time what these auditors are talking about when they're talking about trolls is anyone who disagrees with anything they say.
No, that's not what we're talking about.
Sheep Show, I'm going to read your comment now. But Sheep Show, it's people like you who question things, who question everyone and everything, that are exactly the kind of people I want to be surrounded by. I don't want to be surrounded by the people who just listen and obey the cops, or listen and obey their politicians, or listen and obey some jackass on YouTube. Question. These other guys will ban you for questioning.
Yeah, but see, there's a difference, okay? Somebody questioning you is somebody like me who says, you know, if you're not doing it for a cause, if you don't have any convictions, then are you doing it just for the money? That's a question. A troll comes in here and says, your wife is an ugly bitch. And I'm not saying that about Freeman's wife. I would never say that about Freeman's wife. Probably a bad example, because I don't even want to give the impression that I'm saying that about Freeman's wife at all, ever. She's probably a very, very, very lovely lady. But I'm just trying to make and again, probably a bad example. But I'm just trying to give you an example of the difference between a troll and somebody who's dissenting. People who are dissenting are welcome in my channel. And I think that, you know, they should be welcome in other auditors' channels or in other content creators' channels as well. Although it's completely up to the content creator. It's their channel, their rules. Kind of like my house, my rules. But there's a clear difference between a troll and a dissenter.
I never used the word upset. I said I find this stream disturbing. Have fun trolling government. At least you're admitting it. I'm trying to make change, real change, and I'm not as cynical as you. You know, well, Sheep Show, you're just in denial. Reality is reality, man. You can't change that, you know. If you have a penis, you're a man. And you can sit here and tell us all day that you're a woman. But I know, and you know, and everyone in the chat knows that you have a penis and you're a man, right? You can sit here and tell me that your government is legitimate, or whatever it is that you want to say. It's still not going to be true, no matter how many times you say it, and no matter how many other people you get to mimic you and say it as well. Lies will always be lies. And you know what? The biggest mistake I ever made with my channel was I didn't ever want to lie to my audience, but I did want to go through the system to show and prove beyond a reasonable doubt what the actual results are of going through their system. So I respect the hell out of you having your opinion and expressing it in here, and I thank you for doing that. You will never be blocked or banned for it like you will in all these other channels. We can't change it overnight, but I won't agree we can't change it. Oh, we could change it, but we can't change it if we're lying about what it is, Sheep Show. We definitely could change it, and you're right, we can't do it overnight. But we can't change it if we're lying about what it is. If we're lying to ourselves, if we're lying to everyone around us. Their entire system is built on lies.
Yeah, we get that. We get that. I understand that. And I understand what he's saying. And you know, like I said, maybe I should just I've already spent more time on this than I wanted to. I just kind of wanted to gloss over it a little bit and be a little cheeky with my F James Freeman. And I don't mean that, F James Freeman. I really don't mean that. I absolutely don't mean that. I do like James Freeman. I like his work. 26 here, 29. I like his work. I appreciate what he's doing, but I had a real tough time trying to identify with where he was coming from. And again, you know, more power to him. Whatever he wants to do, that's absolutely fine. But I did want to go and address this, and I wanted to make a public statement that I completely disagree with him. For all of the people that watched his video, we are making change. And we will continue to make change, and change is slow. And hopefully someday we'll be able to reach some of the jurors that are sitting on these juries that are locking us up and putting us in jail. And hopefully, I know this is a little bit draconian to say, is that hopefully I hope that we not only take this fight to government, but we take this fight to our fellow Americans who are absolute traitors. They're absolute unpatriotic traitors. That would rather side with tyrannical government than side with people who are supporting, defending, and trying to preserve the Constitution of the United States of America. I have just as big of a beef with them, if not an even bigger beef with them, than I have against my government, because corrupt government couldn't exist without them. Corrupt government would not exist without the supporters of corrupt government, without the ignorant people of America, without the big dummies out there, without the ignorant. Corrupt government couldn't exist without them. So I have just as big of a beef with them as I do with government. And I am a 1A First Amendment auditing absolutist. Everybody is fair game. I don't care what you do on a public sidewalk. If it's not illegal or immoral, go for it. I don't care who it pisses off. We do not live in a country where we have the First Amendment that says unless somebody feels uncomfortable. Not one single constitutional amendment says unless somebody feels uncomfortable. Again, I agree, MD, and I think that there's a vacuum. I agree with the sentiment that, I don't agree. I understand the sentiment that it's frustrating and we don't want to participate in a system that will never really affect change. But there is a vacuum that's created when you just throw your hands up and you say, I'm not participating, because other people are still going to participate. And you give control over to the enemy. And I've never been one to say that, you know, I'm going to bow down to this leader, oh, this dear leader, oh, this dear leader, oh, this dear leader. To me, voting is like my cellular service. I use Verizon because it's the least worst, not because it's a good service, because it's the least worst out of all of the other services. That's why I use Verizon. I'm not going to say Verizon's service is good, because it's not good, but it's better than everybody else. And that's how I vote. I'm not going to say that any political candidate is good. None of them are my choice, but some of them, in my personal opinion, are better than the others. So I choose the least worst candidate when I vote. So I support voting, because when you don't vote, you create a vacuum for others that do vote. I wanted to, like I said, I've spent too much time on James Freeman, and I'm really not serious about F. James Freeman. I really like the guy. We agree, like I said, 98% of the time. I just wanted to make a point that I disagree with him on this issue. And Matthew has made the point that maybe it's just a fatigue, or, you know, the fact that he just got hemmed up out there, and that he's just fatigued driving home. And, you know, maybe we just chalk it up to the text, because he's trying to understand my point of view through the text. And a lot of times when you're chatting, you know, the message that you're trying to convey, sometimes it's hard to pick up on that and get context from that. And maybe we were just having a real tough time communicating. Not that anybody cares, but I care. But let's go to the timestamp that.
So Sheep Show, if you're still here,
that Ryan gave us. Thank you, Ryan Youngblood, for the timestamp.
I challenge you to go into other chats and disagree.
I always do. I do all the time.
Challenge you to go into other channels and disagree with the host.
I do all the time.
Other channels that call themselves like First Amendment auditors or cop auditors or whatever it is. Please go into their channels and disagree with them.
Now, I will say this: I do hold my tongue quite a bit because I'm striving for unity in this community. I believe that most of the beefs that are going on in this community, and I do call it a community, and I do believe it is a community, and I'm holding out hope that it is a community, even though we're fractured and we're fragmented. But I believe that most of the beefs that are going on in this community are really trivial high school bullshit beefs. They're just really immature, trivial high school bullshit beefs. And I work very hard not to try to get involved in these little stupid, immature high school beefs with other content creators. So I do hold my tongue quite a bit, and it's very rare that I will criticize another content creator unless I think that they are putting forth a message that hurts the community as a whole. And then then sometimes I'll say something, I'll speak up, and I've done it. I do it quite often. I guess I'm sending conflicting. I'm being conflicting right now, saying I do it quite often, and I rarely do it, but I do it more than I probably want to, because I try to bring peace and unity I'll give you an example. What the hell's his name? STD, sexually transmitted. What the hell's his name? David, whatever his name is for San Joaquin Valley Transparency. I criticized the crap out of that guy. Normally I wouldn't do it. I would keep my opinion to myself. But when I heard that he was trying to, shut down other channels and he was striking other channels, that's counterproductive. That's foul ball. That's beyond the pale. That's something that has to get addressed. So I addressed it with that guy, and I made my opinion known, and that's something that I don't always do. And this is one of the bigger channels. And as you can see by this, I don't have any problem taking on a lot of the big. I mean, who cares what the little tiny channels think? Who cares if they get pissed off? I have no problem taking on the bigger channels, and I'm addressing the conversation that I had with you right now on my live, and I addressed what San Joaquin Valley Transparency did. And this whole Direct D Bow thing, I like them both. I don't criticize. Well, I did criticize Direct D, and I make fun of Direct D. I usually criticize people through satire and through comedy. I kind of joke around, and I'm a little sarcastic. That's how I usually criticize people. But I really like Direct D. I don't agree with everything he says, and I don't agree with everything anybody says. But I really, what did you say? Money goes to charity. That's right. You'll win, Matthew King. You'll win, because his beard won't let him go all the way down, and he'll be disqualified. He won't put that beard in the dirt. So we'll have to disqualify him on the push-ups. You'll win on the push-ups. But I got no problem taking on these bigger channels and putting forth my opinion and dissenting and disagreeing with them, as you can see right here. But I usually do it through sarcasm, like with the F. James Freeman title of this stream. So moving on real quick before we go, I just want to make another quick point here. Let me look at my notes here. Oh, I promised you guys that I would give you let me get Freeman's face off here. I promised you guys that I would give you a little bit of update on my arrest. For those of you that don't know, for those of you that do not know, let me go here. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of this. Let me share this screen. Sorry, I'm slow. I'm old. For those of you that don't know, I got arrested on a warrant the other day.
I have his ID.
So that's my truck there, the white truck right there. This jackass getting loaded into the ambulance, he brake checked me. Well, he pretty much stopped in the road in front of me. So I couldn't stop in time. I don't want to lock up the tractor, because if you lock up the tractor on this one-lane highway that I was on, where I was at, anybody that's had any experience driving or any training in a tractor, if you lock up the tires and you slide and you go into oncoming traffic, that's a very bad thing. So you have to be careful that you don't lock up your brakes. Even though you have anti-lock brakes, you can still lock up the brakes. You want to be careful. As a matter of fact, they trained me not to lock up the brakes. They train us to hit animals. If a deer, matter of fact, one company trained us that if a deer comes out in front of you, you need to hit the accelerator. I do now. You pick who you talking to, eyeball. See, I don't know who she's talking to, but that's a troll, because you're not offering any kind of your glory. Somebody get rid of eyeballs, coming in here. That's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. Why are you coming in here starting drama? Start drama on your own channel. This is not the playground. This is not the playground for you to come in here and start this drama like this. Hi, Brandon. So, that's a troll right there. But yeah, somebody get rid of that, that broad talking crap about Gloria. Yes, MD, I was. So one company actually trained us, if a deer runs out in front of you, hit the accelerator. And you're like, well, why are they training you to hit the accelerator for a deer? They say because you have muscle memory and you've been conditioned to hit the brakes. And it's better to actually hit a deer than to jackknife and kill a family of 5, coming home from the movies. And that has happened before. That has happened several times before, where truck drivers jackknife and they kill innocent people because they jackknife the trucks. So a lot of these companies will train you to be very careful, not to lock up the brakes. So this guy started slowing down in front of me. I started slowing down, and then he just stopped right in front of me, and I couldn't stop in time. So I had a warrant, and as a result of this traffic collision, they arrested me for my warrant. What's that?
If you could just wait by your truck.
I don't want to walk down the hill. I'm going to stay right here.
Okay, well, we need you to wait over there right now.
I don't want to walk down the hill. So if you want to carry me,
in order to go over here.
If you want to carry me, or if you want to have somebody bring the stretcher. So I was really chill. Your grandbabies are very took care of. Say again, Gloria. I don't understand. I was very chill with these 2 cops who were Fish and Game. But the reason that Fish and Game stopped was because they witnessed the collision. So that's the reason that Fish and Game were there stopping. And this one dude from Fish and Game, he told me, go back in the truck and wait in the truck. Come out of the truck, go to the back of the truck. Don't look at the driver of the other car. Go back in the truck and wait in the truck. Come out of the truck and go wait over here. Go stand in front of your truck. Come out of the truck and come up here with me. Go wait over there in front of my truck. And he finally ended up pissing me off, because he kept telling me, go here, go there, go here, go there, go here, go there, go here, go there. And that's when I started being a kind of an a-hole to him.
For me here.
I just need you to move more out of the way. We got other people coming, so if you want to stand more over
here,
you're welcome to.
And what's the order? I don't understand the order. Am I detained?
You are detained right now.
Okay, what am I detained for?
You just hit the back of this guy's car.
You're detaining me for a traffic For a traffic collision?
Yes, sir.
I'm detained for a traffic collision.
Yes.
Are you
You're
sure?
not free to leave right now.
Are you sure?
100% positive.
Okay, so you're ordering me to stand
I'm
where?
telling you to stand right over here.
No, you're ordering me to stand where?
I'm ordering you to stand right there.
Okay, you got it.
Absolutely.
You might want to talk with your partner.
Okay. I need you to stand back over here.
Yeah, good.
Perfect.
Make sure you tell CHP I got that warrant too.
Okay.
So, dude kept telling me, stand here, stand there, stand there, stand there, stand there. 250 with nobody. Those are the fun ones. You guys got a chair? 951 News Now? In your truck you can bring me?
I do not.
Huh?
I do not.
Hopefully you had engine braking. Eyeball saying he was going to call. See, I don't know what. I don't know that guy. I don't know that guy. And it's just stupid to say that. And you don't call CPS on people unless you know that there is actual abuse going on in the household. You don't call CPS on somebody unless you know of actual abuse. You act on what you know, and that's just foul. That's just foul. You're not welcome here, eyeball. You're not welcome here. So anyways, dude kept telling me, go here, go there, go here, go there, go here. So then I started being a little bit, I started getting a little bit pissed off. My heart started racing. Yeah, if you want to, sure. I started skipping beats. I had pain in my chest. Well, do you need to?
Yes, sir. It's up.
Fire department. Oh, sorry, I keep pausing this. The videos are on my channel. Fire department kept, they were very nice. Fire department's there. San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department arrived, and the reason that I'm kind of skipping through this kind of quick is I got to get ready to go to work. I know my wife's going to text me any minute. I got to get ready to go to work. So we're doing all of this stuff, and as soon as I saw this deputy kind of sneaking up behind me, I knew I was going to jail. As soon as I saw this deputy,
just going to document it.
Sure.
And then anytime you feel the need, you can call 911 and we'll come take you to the hospital. Okay, sir?
All right.
All right. Hope you feel better. Have a good night. Be safe.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Chacon, how's it going?
There he is right there. He's sneaking up on me. Hey, Mr. Chacon, how's it going? As soon as I saw him, I'm like, I'm going to go to jail. I knew it. Man, I am such a popular guy, man. I am such a popular. No, they didn't have jurisdiction on that road, but they witnessed the accident. Popular guy. Can you? All right. They want me now? You need my hands? That means yeah. They want me. Here you go.
Like I said, let them finish.
It's a miracle. They didn't want me on Sunday, but now they want me on, what is it? So a couple of days prior, San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department said they called LA County I was doing the church on Sunday. They said that they called LA County. LA County did not want me. And then all of a sudden I got into this accident. It was probably 4 or 5 days later. And now they transferred the warrant to San Bernardino County and I went to jail. And, you know, here's the reason I had the warrant. The reason I had the warrant was because I was auditing at a church and some guy was trying to, these are all on my channel and I'm running out of time. I was going to show them, but I'm running out of time. So I'm just going to go over it with you real quick. I was auditing at a church. The guy got mad because I was filming, turned around, started playing music on his phone and started backing up into me. He started backing up, trying to push into me. I extended my arm like this so that he could not push me over or step on my feet or knock me over. He backed up into my hand. And then he filed a private person's arrest on me for battery. LA County Sheriff's Department showed up. They took his word for it, and they refused to look at my video, which showed exactly what happened, that he was backing up into me, and they just basically were absolute tyrants, and that is what we fight against, tyranny and oppression. Absolute eyeballs, who cares what difference? Are you the daughter? I mean, are you the mother of the kids? I mean, what difference is it to you? What are you? I mean, why don't you go Why don't you go protest CPS? I mean, CPS, they're not good caretakers of kids. There's a lot of kids. Matter of fact, I was watching a video today. A guy in CPS custody, a little kid, 15 years old, raped twice in CPS custody. So there's plenty of people for you to go put on your little hero cape and go rescue that are in CPS custody. I don't think you need to be fixated or focusing on Gloria AD. Why don't you go and try and why don't you be a foster parent? Why don't you get some of those kids out of CPS custody, huh? So, anyways, thank you, Gloria. I appreciate that. I've been thinking about it. But so they gave me a citation for that. And real quick, I want to show you the citation that they gave me. Here's the citation they gave me. Completely unreadable. This is a copy of the citation that they gave me. It's completely unreadable. The cop didn't push hard enough with his pen, so they gave me a copy of the citation that was completely unreadable. I couldn't see the court location and I couldn't see the court date. So I had no idea when I was supposed to go to court. It was completely blank. I had absolutely no idea when I was supposed to go to court. How am I supposed to know? But I thought to myself, I said, hey, you can't miss this court date. You want to make sure that you don't miss it. So I went onto the court's website and I did a search for my name. I did a search for my name to try and find out when my court date was. I did the search on August the 6th. I paid like $5 to get this search because LA County doesn't do searches for free. They charge you for your searches. And if you can see, I did a search for my first and last name, and it says no cases found for this search criteria. I had no case. So I'm thinking to myself, hey, self, there's no way that the DA is ever going to file on this case. I mean, this guy backed up into my hand. There's absolutely no way. There's no chance that the DA is going to file on this case. But still, I wanted to be sure. So I said, I'm going to check every so often. I'm going to check every 60 days, the court's website, because they charge me. They charge me $5 a pop. I'm not going to be throwing $5 away to check it every week or every day. I'm going to check every 60 days, wait to get something in the mail. I never got anything in the mail. I was going to check every 60 days, but before the 60 days came, San Bernardino advised me that I had the warrant, told me to go take care of it. So the very, very next day, I wrote a letter to the judge. The judge got the letter. I learned this later after I got a letter from the court, after I sent them my letter. I wrote a letter to the judge asking her to recall the warrant and set a new court date. And the judge, no mercy, no grace, didn't do anything. She left the warrant active. I sent her a copy of the citation. I sent her a copy of the paper showing that I checked for the court case. I sent her a copy of the citation showing that you couldn't see that nothing was visible on it, and that you couldn't actually see when the court date was. I sent her everything. And yeah, it should. I sent her everything, no grace, no compassion, completely unreasonable, just took no action, left the active warrant and said, no, you have to come in person to get the warrant recalled. Well, if I go in person to get the warrant recalled, well, there's no reason to recall the warrant because I'm there. I'm in front of you. The recalling the warrant just means that the cops aren't going to pick me up out there in the street and put me in jail and drag me in front of you. So that's what recalling the warrant does. So it just doesn't make any sense other than she was completely discompassionate. She was just completely unreasonable and left the warrant active. And that's how I ended up going to jail. But as you can see, it's very important for me to try and obey the law. And I did everything that a reasonable person could and should do to make it to my court date. And through no fault of my own, through the fault of the court, we have a 14th Amendment. Is it the 14th Amendment? I'm having a brain fart. We have due process. The court cannot expect you to know when to go to court. You're not expected to call Clio, the Psychic Friends Network, and ask them when you have a court date. You're supposed to know. The court has to notify you, or the government needs to notify you when you have a court date. They failed to notify me. There's no notification on the ticket. When I went to the court's website, there was no notification on the court's website. That's a violation of due process. It's through no fault of my own, first of all, that I ended up with a private person's arrest because that guy was a liar. Second of all, that the cops actually wrote me the ticket because they're tyrants. Third, that they wrote a ticket, he didn't fill it out properly, didn't make sure that it was legible. It's an illegible ticket. Fourth, that I went on the court's website and there was no court case or no calendar case set up for me. Fifth, that the day after I found out that I had a warrant, I immediately wrote a letter to the judge trying to rectify and address. I said rectify. Trying to rectify and address the situation. So it's complete bullshit. It's absolute tyranny, more injustice, more government oppression. There's no reason why that judge could not have just recalled the warrant and given me a new court date. I could get it if I missed the second court date and her saying, no, absolutely not. I'm not going to recall a second warrant. But with all of the evidence that I sent her, there's absolutely no reason why she could not have recalled that court date. All right, people, I have to go to work. I'm going to go to Indiana and then South Dakota. And then I'm going to Indiana and then I'm going to South Dakota. If you're talking about at the accident, I did realize that I knew it was coming. I told the guy, don't forget to tell CHP about that warrant because they had already. I knew that that they were going to know about that warrant because he got my ID from me, he got my license, and they were running me. And what I did not know, Edgar, this is what I did not know. I did not know that LA County could transfer the warrant to San Bernardino County and still give me my court date in Simi Valley in LA County. So what they did was they transferred the warrant to San Bernardino County, the warrant only, but still kept my case in LA County. I had no clue that they could do that. I knew they could transfer the prosecution to San Bernardino County, but I never, but nothing having anything to do with that case occurred in San Bernardino County. So, like for example, Riverside. Let's look at Riverside as an example. They transferred the charges from LA County in Riverside's case to San Bernardino County, and they tried him, or they were going to try him in San Bernardino County. But in Riverside's case, he had incidents in both counties. He had charges both in LA County and in San Bernardino County, so they consolidated all of the charges, and LA County transferred his charges from there to San Bernardino County, which I think was dirty. And I knew that they could do that, but since nothing with my warrant had anything to do with San Bernardino County. I didn't know that they could do that in my case. And I was completely surprised that they had transferred the warrant to San Bernardino County. And I honestly thought, until I had a suspicion that I would go to jail, but when I turned around and I saw that cop, that's when I knew I was going to jail. But up until then, let me just say that I was hopeful that I was going to go home that night. I was hopeful I was going home that night. And so my charges are still in Santa Clarita County, or in LA County, in the city of Santa Clarita. And I have a court date in December. So I'm out on bond, unless they raise my bond, which, I mean, I guess anything's possible, but I don't really see it happening. Unless they raise my bond for some reason, I should be good to go. I don't really see any reason why they would raise my bond. And if they do, then I'd have to come up with an additional bond. Yeah, River is getting out around December the 12th, I believe it's December the 12th. He's getting out middle of December. He actually got convicted of assault with a deadly weapon likely to produce great bodily injury. I believe that was the charge that he got convicted, a felony charge. They gave him 2 years. He's going to do 1. He's going to be out in December. I think that's accurate. I believe. Maybe they charged him with the pepper spray, but I think they got him with 245, if I remember correctly. Assault with a deadly weapon, likely to produce great bodily injury. Or maybe it was the pepper spray, likely to produce great bodily injury. But I definitely know he's getting out middle of December. So thank God that nightmare ordeal will be over for him. Wow. I mean, who would have? Like I told you guys before, I was so naive about the criminal justice system. I knew there were bad cops because I had experienced bad cops in my lifetime, and I've experienced them enough to know that there's quite a few bad cops out there. But I didn't know that the whole entire criminal justice system was corrupt. I didn't know that the courts were just as corrupt, filled with bad judges and bad prosecutors, that there was just as many of them as there were bad cops. I didn't know that. I was completely in the dark and completely naive to that. And the First Amendment auditing community, specifically High Desert Community Watch, who was the First Amendment auditor I ever saw and got me watching these videos, opened my eyes to that fact, that the entire system is rotten from the root. The whole system is rotten. Hey, Cynthia, good to see you. The entire system is rotten from the root. Hey, I have somebody in here threatening to call CPS on Gloria. What the hell? Some freaking dude named Eyeballs is threatening to call CPS on Gloria, saying Gloria isn't a good grandmother. What the hell? What the hell? What is your problem, Eyeball? Go and why don't you be a foster parent and bring some of these kids that you care so much about into your own home and show us how it's done. Show us how to be a good grandmother. Show us how to take care of them. Why don't you go do that and stop calling people pigs in my chat? So yeah, we're going to God bless you, Gloria. May the Lord protect you and keep you and not let any harm come to you or your little grandbabies. So yeah, I'm out of here, folks. But I did, like I said, I wanted to sick ass individuals, que no? Crazy sick ass individuals, right? They go to the same orgies. But I lied to you. I felt bad that I lied to you because I told you that I was going to go live and I was going to talk about my arrest and I was going to talk about my court dates and all this other stuff. And let me see here. I think that's wifey telling me, "Hey, I got my 10-minute warning." So yeah, we're gonna go to Illinois. We're gonna go to South Dakota, and then we're gonna go to not Idaho. Where are we going to go? Nebraska. We're going to go to Nebraska. Lincoln, Nebraska. Real quick, I never want to miss an opportunity to talk shit about these. For those of you that don't know, I'm getting ready to let this thing go because I mean it really is a shit show. They really are a pathetic bunch of people. For those of you that don't know DOA and don't know my little battle that I'm having with the protesters, I kind of have a little ongoing battle with the protesters. For those of you that don't already know, I had a little spat with some old woman on the sidewalk named Tori that they have exalted to the sidewalk Sister Teresa, and everyone says that I yelled at her and that I cursed her out, and I did no such thing to her on the sidewalk. And she called the cops on me. She tried to get me arrested for free speech. She really is a nasty woman. But these SP protesters in the cult, they love her. They really love her. That's their Sister Teresa. That's their patron saint of the sidewalk. Exactly. F them putos. That's their patron saint of the sidewalk. And they've all ganged up on me, and they're calling me chomo. They're calling me all kinds of mean things. They're saying all kinds of mean things to me, like really mean things to me. So I just wanted to share this with you really quickly, like, because it's too good not to share. It's too good not to share. So DOA, he's protesting. Let me just set this up for you real quick, guys. He's protesting Mila Kunis at the shit, I'm having a brain fart. Mila Kunis at the at one of the late night shows. I'm trying to remember the dude's name, and I'm having a brain fart. Jimmy Kimmel. He's protesting Mila Kunis at the Jimmy Kimmel show because Mila Kunis wrote a character statement for Matheson, who was convicted of raping 2 women inside of Scientology. And so he's there to protest Mila Kunis for writing a character witness statement in the trial for Matheson. I'm having too many brain farts right now. But he's over there on a bullhorn, and all the paparazzi, they're trying, and the fans, they're trying to get autographs, and the paparazzi's trying to get pictures. And this is what went down when he was there at the Jimmy Kimmel show.
There's Daisy.
Hi, everyone.
That's the wrong one. Well, let me just do it for you real quick then. That's right, DOA Sweaty Balls. Good to have you. I just wanted to give a shout out to our friend Katie Kidman. Let me throw the link up to this channel. For those of you that follow what's going on in Santa Monica and know who Daisy is, here's the link to this video. For those of you that follow Santa Monica close up and know who Daisy is, she's a regular out there in Santa Monica of the unhoused or homeless or whatever you want to say. And my great friend, Katie Kidman, got an interview with Daisy. And let's just watch a minute or so of it. And then there's the link to Katie Kidman's channel. If you don't have her, if you're not subbed to Katie Kidman, she's a wonderful woman who has been victimized by the criminal and justice system more than anybody should be victimized by the criminal and justice system. She was railroaded through a misdemeanor trial and convicted by a jury, not of her peers and not of my peers, but by a jury of boot-licking copsuckers, traitors to, they're not my compatriots, they're traitors. They are loyalists to the throne. They're still worshiping the throne rather than supporting and defending the Constitution. And Katie Kidman has suffered more at the hands of a tyrannical government than any American should have, but especially for one of our vulnerable citizens. But let's just look at a couple minutes of this interview.
Say hi to
I'm
Daisy.
a one-woman show. I never need to take any cuts or like edit anything.
Yeah, she's she's an angel. So anybody that's making comments on my videos, saying anything about Daisy, I'm here with Daisy right now, and I've been defending her. I think she's adorable doll. And what she's doing out here with the homeless people, her spirit, her love, her positive energy and everything that she has given out is like, it should be taken like gold. Like some people do take it that way. Like some people that have talked to me about her are like, she's golden. Like she's a golden child.
You know, I recognize myself too. I called the social workers today to talk about Billy, because one thing about me is I collaborate so everyone's needs get met and everyone's a friend, and I just help everyone understand that everyone loves each other and cares and wants to make life more wonderful.
Right.
So I help this happen, and I help everyone see that like the police are our friends and they want to help, and everyone's our friends and want to help. And if we get stuck in like domination systems,
you are right.
which
951 News Now.
Dissolve, because then technology information will be free, won't have rules or laws or borders or governors or dues or fees, or we'll just have like a world where we get to do our meaning and purpose, and we'll be masters, and we'll have so much fun because we'll be superheroes, and we'll know our worth because we'll have like this sense of like.
For those of you that don't know this about Daisy, the way that she protests the police is she takes her top off. Now, every time she's done that, I've had to immediately poke my eyes and look away and dive under my desk because, I don't. Of course, you know me. I'm not going to look at anything like that. I'm just, I'm too far. I'm too good for that. So I'm not going to look. But just for anybody, just a point of fact, when Daisy protests the LAPD, one of the ways that she protests is she takes her top off. It's pretty funny, and it's really funny when they go to blur it out, and here she is with her top off, and then they put the blur square like 3 feet away from her. Cracks me up every time. But that is one of the ways that she protests LAPD is she takes her top off. So this is just a public service announcement to just be careful when you're watching Santa Monica close up. Be careful and be ready to click out of the video or to cover your eyes. Just be fair warned. How about this? Viewer discretion is advised when you're watching Daisy protest the LAPD. Because she may just kind of whip them out there. She just whips them right on out there, just like whoop, there they are. But that's Katie Kidman, my friend Katie Kidman, interviewing Daisy out there. There's a great channel. There's a great channel. Oh my God, you cracked me up. There's a great channel. Santa Monica Close Up out there. He records everything out there, all the happenings in Santa Monica, and Katie's out there been in Santa Monica. So if you don't know Katie Kidman, go give her a real quick sub to her channel. And then real quickly here, let's go to DOA here real quick. This one is the one that I was trying to show you. This is DOA at the Jimmy Kimmel show. And he's on a bullhorn protesting. Yeah. Oh my God. He's on a bullhorn protesting. Well, I have another public service announcement. You need to be ready when Cynthia goes live to dive under the desk and click out and or protect yourself. Make sure that you're not watching at work. If you're watching at work, you got to be careful because they come out really quick. It doesn't take a long time to get them out. They come out really quick. It's like they're kind of like those old Western cowboys, the gunslingers. I mean, they just like whoop, whoop, they just out. But anyways, let me set this up for you. This is DOA protesting Mila Kunis because she wrote a character witness statement for Danny Matheson. Danny Masterson. She wrote a character witness statement for Danny Masterson, who was convicted of raping 2 women in Scientology. And this is him at the Jimmy Kimmel show protesting.
This is Hollywood.
Watch this guy up here on the ladder. This guy up here on the ladder to the left of the telephone pole. Watch this guy up here. He's going to get down off the ladder.
Yeah, go ahead, kick my ass. That's it. That's it. Yep, yeah, get it going, guys. Get the autograph of Mila and Danny Masterson. That's awesome. Awesome. I don't even need to be close to you.
Jesus Christ.
Whoop.
Go ahead. Go ahead, dude. This guy's fucking unhinged, man.
Hey, whoop. Every time he throws... I got to see that. Every time he throws a chair, he says, whoop.
Awesome. I don't even need to be close to you.
Whoop.
Jesus Christ. Go ahead. Go ahead, dude. This guy's fucking unhinged, man.
Yeah, get out of here. I don't need to be close. You psychopath. Look at him. He looks like a fucking psychopath.
He's unhinged.
I'm not.
Now, I got to be perfectly honest. Any other situation other than a situation involving DOA, I would really, really, really be upset about the paparazzi acting like that. But this guy is such a scumbag. I am having a really, really, really difficult time feeling sorry for him. And I would be lying if I didn't tell you that there's a certain part of me, a small part of me. He didn't get hit at all. He backed up every time. But there's a small part of me that that is really, really, really not that perturbed that these people want to destroy each other. I mean, these two groups of people are kind of like, in my personal opinion, I'm not going to shed a big crocodile tear watching them trying to destroy each other. DOA is not a good person. He wants to pretend that he's a good person. He has a lot of people that are fooled to think that he's a good person, but he's not a good person. Hey, Be Kind, how are you? He is not a good person. I do not believe that he's a good person. As a matter of fact, he's out there yelling that Mila Kunis is
good. And why isn't she talking about it?
Yeah.
Why isn't she talking about any of it?
Mila Kunis.
Crazy.
Right? Why
Crazy.
isn't she talking about it?
It's crazy.
Let me know in the chat if you hear Mila talking about it, and I'll stop protesting outside. If she's talking about it in the interview, I'll...
Danny Masterson's a serial rapist.
I keep opening the door. Every time that door opens.
Yeah. Yeah, because it goes...
It's got to go right in there. I mean, it was echoing. That whole back
He is
was
a
echoing.
professional grifter.
Yeah.
Every time that door opens, they could hear it. Because they're not that deep. The buildings aren't that deep. It's an older building.
So,
Canted it.
Serial rapist, Mila. Danny Masterson's a serial rapist, Mila.
So he's out there at the
And
Jimmy
so she
Kimmel show.
recanted it.
He's protesting Mila Kunis over and over and over and over and over again. And they tell him in his chat that Mila Kunis apologized for the character witness statement and in effect recanted her character witness statement.
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, they're under fire after writing character references for Danny Masterson, who was sentenced last week to 30 years for raping 2 women. The couple is now apologizing. Zareen Shah has the story. Good morning, Zareen.
George, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis starred on that 70s show with Danny Masterson, and his accusations took place during the time they were on that show. Now, he faces the maximum sentence, but now his former co-stars are also paying the price for supporting him.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
This morning, fallout growing from the apology some are just not accepting. Hollywood superstars Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis apologizing in a video message posted on Instagram after writing character letters for their friend Danny Masterson, who was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison after being convicted of raping 2 women in the early 2000s.
And his family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
The married couple worked with Masterson for nearly a decade on the hit series That 70s Show.
'Cause I'm fine. All I need is my buddy Hyde.
And
That's
later,
Masterson, Danny Masterson right there with the glasses, convicted, sentenced to what, 30 years for raping 2 women inside of the Church of Scientology.
Masterson
Allegedly.
starring alongside
Inside
Kutcher
of
on the
Church of
Netflix
Scientology. I
series
don't know
The
where the
Ranch.
It
was Colt. Colt was talking.
Kutcher and Kunis were part of more than 50 people writing character letters that became public just hours after the sentencing. Kutcher writing that Masterson was a role model, adding he does not believe he's an ongoing harm to society. Mila writing Masterson is an outstanding older brother figure who demonstrates grace and empathy in every situation. Their words sparking massive backlash online, prompting this video post.
We support victims.
That's true, 951.
We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
The two are involved in several philanthropic efforts, including an organization that Ashton co-founded to combat sex trafficking. Jane Doe 1, who tearfully read her own victim impact statement aloud in court before Masterson's sentencing, reacting to their apology, telling ABC News, "This video was incredibly, insanely insulting, hurtful, especially Ashton, who claims to work with victims of sex crimes with the nonprofit Thorn Foundation." The couple said their words were intended for the judge and not to re-traumatize victims.
We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
We have heard from so many people during and after the Danny Masterson trial, but the one person we have not heard from is Danny Masterson. He is maintaining his innocence, though, and vowing to appeal. Guys.
Okay, Zoreen, thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans.
So, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and many people are probably, I might offend anybody, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but, Danny Masterson has maintained his innocence, says that he's not guilty. Kunis and Kutcher are kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. They know that the character reference letters that they wrote have done them a great deal of PR damage, and they're trying to. Hey, Polly, good to see you. They're trying to backpedal, and they're trying to save face and kind of clean up the mess that character letter created. I don't think that they were expecting the character letter to go public. I think that they thought that it would be between them and the judge, and that it wouldn't be made public, especially as soon as it was. And again, just playing devil's advocate, maybe they don't believe the victims. Maybe they don't believe he's guilty. Maybe they think that they've known him long enough and worked with him long enough that because they know him personally, maybe they just can't, there's no way that they could ever imagine him being capable of doing that to another human being. Love you too, Polly. Thank you. I'll let her know. And she was showing me her little prayer list in her room. She's like, I was like, "Where's your prayer list with all my friends on?" She's like, "Oh, I moved it. It's over there on the side. It's got all your guys' names on it. It's got all my channel members' names on it." But anyways, there are certain people that I know in my life that I have known for a long time, and if they were ever accused of rape or sexual assault, I wouldn't believe it. I don't care. If they were accused, if they went to a trial, and if they were convicted, I wouldn't believe it. There are people that I know in my life that I would be able to say impossible. Impossible. I do not believe the victims. So again, I'm playing devil's advocate. Maybe that's where Kutcher and Ashton Kutcher and Kunis were, where they felt like they knew him well enough and they knew his character well enough that it was inconceivable for him to be able to commit those types of crimes. And it wouldn't be the first. I get it. It's 2024. All victims, we're supposed to believe them. If you accuse somebody of sexual assault, we have to believe them. But the truth of the matter is that not everybody is believable. And we know that there have been many, far too many cases of false accusations and false allegations against people. I remember an old one, the Duke lacrosse team, that stripper accused them all of gang raping her. And they ran that Duke lacrosse team through the coals. They completely assassinated their characters. They expelled them from the schools. They were criminal from their college, from their university. They were criminally prosecuting them. Every single news station in the country was hanging them already. They were already crucified. Turns out it was all a big lie. They didn't do anything that they were accused of doing. That's just one example of a false allegation. And again, I'm just saying that there are times when women falsely accuse men of doing things that they did not do. It happens. So maybe, Kutcher and Kunis, maybe they just couldn't believe that their friend was capable of such an act, so they wrote a character reference letter for him. I don't know. That's I'm just throwing that out there. That's for you guys to decide. You guys can make up your own minds. It does appear to me that they're just kind of trying to clean up the mess that character reference letter, the negative publicity that came with that character reference letter, just because of the times that we're in and the culture that we're in, where we're required to believe all allegations to be true, whether or not they're proven true or not. But in this particular case, he was convicted. And they did write the character reference letters prior to sentencing after his conviction. So there's that as well. But I don't know. That's for you to decide. That was DOA out there protesting Mila Kunis at the Jimmy Kimmel Live show. And he was pissing off the paparazzi and the fans there. And one guy started whooping chairs at him. Whoop, 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 whoop. Anyways, people, thanks for being here. I appreciate spending time with you, and I appreciate you spending time with me. I love you all. May God bless you all and keep you all safe, you and your whole families. May he rain down his favor on you. May he woo you and reveal himself to you in every single way. I can't thank you enough for being here. I can't thank you enough for giving me your time. Be safe. Be loved. This is Sheep Show. I'm born again. Thank you for watching.